Version. My name is Kevin Akobedu Taylor. This is with all use for version / state of the nation / pound for pound. Whatever we say here are the facts. You might not like it, but these are the facts. You might hate me, but these are the facts. You see, the issue is I want for it's important. Everybody is struggling in Ghana. Don't let somebody capitalize on your weakness to destroy whatever you have built. It's very, very important. If you want to die honorably, die honorably. There's more respect in that than to die as a coward, to die as a snitch, to die as a hypocrite, and to die as a sycophant. If you want to die honorably, die honorably. Die honorably. Do not destroy your army because of just you. It's very, very important. All right. Let's do the editorial of the day. Kevin Taylor. So the editorial of the day is simple. As you can see here, the Sputnik scandal. Argentina, we are all quiet about the Sputnik scandal. I have seen the health minister make a lot of statements in these few weeks. And Debbie Amekachem who say, Ghana as a country, dear pa and the do point be who say, I said there are some things we need to take serious. The last time I asked a simple question, what do you define crime to be under Kufuor? Under Kufuor, what is crime? What is crime? What do you call crime? And then another Danko Kufuor, Bawumia and Alankash regime again I'm afraid to say a crime. Because it looks like they have passed all the stages of crime. Crime nankasa na I say omadane crime nankasa because at this point ye nim de obi beye biema e kire obi atwitu abo president tu ansa na ehun so obi commit crime or Ghana because so many crimes have been committed, so many crimes has happened, and the president, this government seems not to care. Inti ande Kufuor I don't know a dear pan your friend say crime. What is crime? Because Charles Bisu a bribe or TV so ya channel ya say still or the one man position Professor Frimpong Boating what just say yeah when the yenche no when the yenche no abai we who hasn't committed a crime. Me penny people call uncommitted crime obia committed and so Kufuor say everybody is clean. Inti ande Kufuor no then my friend say a crime. Sputnik scandal we the biggest crime. Yet krom ha and abrofo free a crow Norway by investigations about Sputnik. Vaccines be a health minister. Edi yesika edi ebikotoso edi baya abra verify. Yan check say a kramai junso. Yan check say a preko junso. Yan check say a some insuo fumbio and okofa ba say or health minister of Ghana. And Odeba Ghana for nyina wo bi Ekufuor wo bi Otumfuo say tutu wo bi Amotio for penyina wo bi John Mahama wo bi NDC for nyina wo bi MPP for nyina wo bi Apemfo awo ankafo for wo bi 37 Ghana military for wo bi Ghana police wo bi dampare awo no bi me see tiwa de dankwale da goto yoko obia wo bi enkwara omo university young graduates ene omo mo school nyoma wo bi yenim say infertility problem yenim say erectile dysfunction permanent one yenim say be man body be a barren yenim say in the years to come no sa vaccine Sputnik ni akofa by na yem verify no a health minister way Ajimamenu kofa by no yenim say in the near future no people will start getting blind. We know yenim say in the near future no amount for brains we have no idea. And then Andre Sami Jemfi Ebusa FDA say give us documents to prove say every vaccine be there Ghana any side effect. FDA said no. Now and this guy is so parading on the streets of Ghana and call himself the health minister. He's being paid by the same people he has poisoned. And there's one thing that is coming up now. Or say, lot of Ghanaians are not going out for the vaccine until mandatory. You be forced to Ghana for more war. A brand new pana ojina no friend no Kweku Ajimamenu no Sputnik scandal no indro kofa bae no ye verify indro no. Obi bega sa meka smash na no. This is Kweku Ajimamenu ono ankasa his own words.
Did you seek parliamentary approval before you entered into this contract?
No, please.
You did not.
Do you appreciate the fact that the pronouncement by the Supreme Court vis-a-vis the constitutional provision clearly talks about prior approval? You appreciate that?
Honorable Chair, very much so. But my frustrations to try to get a vaccine for us at the heat of our second wave, I relied on the Executive Instrument 61 that was passed by Parliament to hide behind emergency clauses that have been invoked to try to see if I could do that and come to Parliament to inform Parliament that this is what I've done and therefore need regularization. I need approval to cover it because we were in dire need of the vaccine and I had the onus to try to procure the vaccines to vaccinate Ghanaians to protect our lives. Honorable Chair, I must be very honest with you. At the time, I have mentioned my frustration was the fact that I seriously made that error, and on hindsight, it won't happen any longer.
You are aware of how we deal with emergency situations in Parliament. We have conventions and rules and regulations governing how you deal with emergency issues, i.e. appearing before the relevant committee and make a case so that the issue can be dealt with as an emergency issue. Why didn't you take advantage of that procedure?
That those were not normal times. And I was seriously in a situation that couldn't make me think properly, the way you think that now I will actually address myself to the situation.
Mr. Minister, are you aware that we have dealt with issues and motions on the same day before on the floor of the House, in this House? And let me give you examples. You remember the 1.2 billion and the 100.
So that is Kweku Ajima Menu, the health minister of Ghana. Abu Busan said, did you seek parliamentary approval? I said no. Did you seek pre-approval? I said no. And Abu Busan said, now why did you come by that decision? On any argument, and they say he took the decision because it was an emergency. So in an emergency, you can bring in poison to kill Ghanaians. That is why there are blocks before we take such decisions. That if that is how it's supposed to be done, then everything can be considered an emergency in the person taking the action. Because Paul Adomatri can tell you, say, that tree now or just can go di, you know, and the or say, obi yes can be yes can no problem, no. And the Paul Adomatri too in his eyes, you know, that is an emergency. That is no excuse. We are talking about human lives. And remember, COVID this year, no, in Ghana and Kwao, it was worldwide, and the WHO had sent out a message say there are criminals out there who are selling fake drugs and telling people it is real vaccine that has been sanctioned by the WHO, and those ones are poisonous. The health minister knew months before this, and he came to tell Ghanaians and say his brains were not in the right place. So he told us at this committee, said no one will bought damn crown my health minister. No, also anonymous jot now, that statement alone, you sack and go to jail. He admitted that he's mentally destabilized. He said he was not mentally fit to make those decisions. Or see, I wasn't in the right frame of brain. Just like what about damn and I will be taking life-threatening decisions for us. And we have a country. We are talking about the health minister. He accepted. Said, why you mistake? And that mistake, and you one person mistake. This is genocide. But say, I was not in my right frame of mind. You don't deserve to be in our office because you are a full mental patient. You are an FM. For him to just say he's HM and as a FM, no, he doesn't even deserve to be standing today in Ghana to be telling us about COVID and how we have to approach it. This man is FM or a full mental. He admitted in front of a committee. Wabodam. And itina or co-chair kukwoma or ne incophobia yenim omo ejuma omo ye. Say, monfa vaccine mbre Ghana from fambe war mo no mo di omo jimi. And he said this. He wasn't in the right frame of mind. And you are still the minister. And you, the same minister, you are standing in front of us telling us, young ko panier no. I didn't think a Ghana of 1% war panier. Now also a bodam and a cover panier by. Okache say wo no wa bodam wa dwiri nya adwuma na bodam ni akofa vaccine ba yemfa ejimi nkosa line and nothing that people are not going out to take the vaccine because the person leading us not cover vaccine ba and bodam the FDA that is supposed to sanction those vaccines say we are not going to give you the document. At this point, how do you want Ghanaians to trust in the vaccine? And why is this guy still the health minister? Now what worries me is Sa sikana eye Kwaku Agyeman free Ghana for ho e commerce these people onya the cat no enya me ne wo netua ye the same player Ken Oforiatta ya okokoji 52.5 billion e wo Ghana Commercial Bank no the same Oforiatta and the tam sa sikana edema eye ye friend no health minister Kwaku Agyeman abra na onim se Kwaku Agyeman had not gone to parliament for approval. And this is a recording the investigators did with Ken Oforiatta. Ebusan said, did you pay this amount of money to these people? And Ken Oforiatta being the finance minister, knowing said the health minister had not gone through the process, no, he still gave him the money. To Ken Oforiatta, the presidency, they knew about this. Why is this guy still the health minister? This is what Ken Oforiatta said when they interviewed him.
To what you said about third parties, because our article mainly deals with how third parties or intermediaries are now selling vaccines at a high markup to countries in Africa, in Asia and South America that are struggling to meet their demands through other means. One of the deals we are writing about is, of course, the deal that Ghana did with Sheikh Ahmed Al Maktoum and Avrogulf, in which I was told that Ghana is paying $19 per dose for the Sputnik vaccine, which is quite a lot more than what the Russians are selling it for directly, which is $10 per dose. Do you reckon that Ghana has paid or what's your comment on the price that Ghana has paid?
Marcus, we had a period in which we had gotten close to 1 million AstraZeneca vaccines, which had been sort of well administered and deployed and had very little left. And then we had the second doses coming up. So we were really forced to look at, how to get some new doses into the system. And I think we agreed to 300,000 transaction in terms of Sputnik vaccines. Which we did, and I think the Ministry of Health is looking at maybe another 1 million vaccines, but really that one is on condition that we don't get the AstraZeneca or Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer in the interim period.
Just so I have the numbers correctly there, because in April the health ministry sent out a press release saying they would buy 3.4 million vaccines from Al Maktoum, and I think you said 1.3 now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean what I have is 300,000 vaccines Sputnik that we have paid for. And then what I am reading in my agreement is to almost have like a standby possibility of another 1 million.
Right.
But my expectation from here is that if we are successful with
AstraZeneca
sharing that the US is going to do, etc. And also, we signed up on the Africa platform for 12 million doses of J&J, we will not need to do that.
Yeah. So it's a backup plan, that next million.
It really is.
And that means that, as you're saying, you've so far only paid for 300,000 Sputnik vaccines through the sheikh in Dubai, correct?
That's very correct.
But those are paid at a price of $19 per dose.
Right. We set up an LC to do that.
And sorry?
I think that's about it.
Yeah. But would you comment on the fact that the price was almost double of what the Russians normally charge if they sell directly?
Well, I don't know that. This is the Ministry of Health.
Yeah.
In terms of that, and I'm expecting that.
Because that's my question. If or sort of the outlook of the article, one of the central questions is if countries that are left behind to find vaccines for themselves, that are far behind in the line, if they get penalized doubly, that first they have to wait for vaccines longer than a number of wealthy countries that have hoarded vaccine for themselves, and then on top of that they have to pay a higher price for the vaccines because they have to go through intermediaries like middlemen. Is that something you fear might happen to Ghana?
I think, Marcus, if you look at the global financial architecture, you realize the inequities embedded in the system, and then you look at sort of the story of these vaccines, and it's really quite stagnant and unacceptable. I think that there's about 1.4 billion, close to 1.5 billion doses that have been administered globally at this time, of which Africa is about 20 million. So you can see under 2% of us being done. You can almost say that EU ordered about 1.6 billion vaccines, which is about 3.5 doses per person. Canada about 10 doses per person, and then Africa we've administered maybe 8 doses per 1,000 people.
Yes, exactly.
So it's just a ridiculous situation in a pandemic which knows no boundaries.
But does it also put you at risk of having to pay a higher price through middlemen?
Well, that leaves countries in Africa subject to more of such aid dependencies and such unethical commercial transactions.
I saw the health minister of South Africa. He said that they had been contacted by a number of various businessmen and middlemen claiming that they could supply the vaccines, but often at such much as 4 times the normal price. So that's why I'm asking if it puts those.
I don't let them come to the Minister of Finance, but I think the Minister of Health is inundated with all sorts of modern day salesmen.
So when you said you don't let them come to the Ministry of Finance, what did you mean by that?
That I am not the one to be looking at the efficacy, etc., and therefore I take my instructions from the Ministry of Health after they've gone through their due diligence.
Yeah.
And so, but there's a whole bunch of, as you say, snake oil salesmen, appearing at the doors of the Ministry of Health to offer their services.
That there is a number of these appearing, or are you saying that there is a risk of it, or that it's actually happening?
Well, that is happening. I mean, he's seeing an awful lot of what I call snake oil salesmen are knocking at his door.
Yeah.
To sell him these goods. And truly...
But then in terms of the deal with the sheikh, do you consider that a reasonable deal, having to pay $19 per dose?
I don't know. I mean, Marcus, you are confronted with the good guys from the West not giving you any assurance of supply, and you have 30 million people to save lives. You know, I think it's very easy to sit somewhere and say, you know, why are you doing this? But you need to make sure you protect your people, you know. So you manage that as well as you can. And this is all a contrived and manufactured crisis with regards to supply.
So you had the finance minister himself justifying Sika Utiama Eye Ajima Menu. And you see, in his statement, he was shifting the blame. The health minister is the person you have to hold responsible. He paid him the money to go pay. Now the question is, do you think that the finance minister didn't know what he was doing? Because the first thing the finance minister is supposed to ask is, did you seek parliamentary approval? Did you seek pre-approval? This is supposed to be the first question. But he knew that they were doing deals behind. And the second question is, these people you are dealing with, are they verified? Are they verified individuals? WHO, I said we can buy things from them. He ignored that question. You want to tell me the president does not know this? And the third question is, the finance minister knew how much every vaccine was being sold on the market, but he knew this guy's price was higher than the price on the market because the WHO had sent a message out that this is what is happening, but they still went on and did this deal and brought the poison into the system. Now, FDA to sanction and make sure say I don't know about them in the next 5-10 years. Almost release any document about test about the vaccine. This guy called Kweku Ajima Menu still parades himself as the health minister in Ghana and the years so. And today he was all over the place spewing a lot of things because we have let him loose. Minority in parliament are not discussing this again. Nobody is holding this guy accountable. The day they were supposed to vote on this guy's issue in parliament, and a former MP na the as he is adjourning the issue. Ever seen there? Nobody has discussed it. Parliament is about to resume. The question to Ghanaians is say, "Unim the idea I am an advocate for the vaccine. Mawa 1, Mawa 2, Mawa booster shot. Mawa first vaccine, 6 months later, Mesawa my second shot, and a Masawa booster shot. Memetiano. I will not tell anybody not to take the vaccine. Never. But the question is, vaccine ajima menu kofaba ena yede wagana for munim baby free. Has it been scrutinized? Yeah, the FDA, why are they not coming out? Because they are fra the yede womono. So as we speak now, who is killing who? Why are we not making sure this guy loses his job? Why is the minority making sure, why are they not making sure Ajima Menu is kicked out of parliament? He has committed genocide. Yet yedahunde a drone wagana for we don't know what is in it. And this is your finance minister, and that was your health minister speaking. And what one on me was problem? One year they be wo. Memetiano, ya wa me first one Johnson and Johnson. Me Moderna na me warrior, and I'm saw Moderna, and I'm our booster, me wa backup. What year they were first one? Who named the year they were? And I am here helping you and telling you, say we need to come together. People like that, we need to stop them. We don't even have to consider them in our parliament. So your MP, you need to vote against this government. Is a deadly government. Anytime you catch a Ghana force, it is not about Mahama. It is not about NDC. It is not. It is about changing this government. It does not matter who leads the NPP in 2024. Baromia is bad news. Alan Cash is bad news. We need to get to the bottom of this because you know the consequences. For the health minister alone to sit in front of a committee to say, I wasn't in the right frame of mind, you are mad. You don't deserve to lead. You don't deserve to be the health minister because technically you are mentally retarded. You are psychologically not fit to occupy the office. But somebody is sitting there insulting me. In the next 3 years, untumi will be barren. In the next 2 years, umame nenibe fra. I am not here saying nobody should go for the vaccine. I'm here asking questions and we demand answers. And this health minister is not supposed to stand in front of anybody in Ghana to talk about the vaccine. He does not have that right. He does not have that moral right to even discuss vaccines in Ghana, COVID in Ghana. He needs to be kicked out. The president does not care. Akufo-Addo and his government, the people who made him president, Kufuor is there. He does not care because the MPP. Have you heard Alan Cass talk about this? He does not care because he's coming to continue it. Have you heard Abozege, that Agama lizard, Baumia? Have you heard him speak on this scandal? No, he does not care. All they need is power and to make sure you people, you die in your misery. Because sebio, we need to start thinking. We need to start asking questions. And Nuntina Andrew Ekoti say some concerned doctors be also doctors because they think that the vaccine is not doing its job. The president or the government should concentrate on hospitalization, making sure that the people are hospitalized and taken care of well. And they are Ghana Health Service. Because they don't believe in that. Ghana Health Service now, but where was he when the health minister brought in Sputnik? I am verify Okofa Vaccina WHO and sanction. Where was the Ghana Health Service? You people you are medical people. Are you insane? What did you say? Did you boycott whatever is happening? You sat there and you made a government and give you these things to inject Ghanaians with. Now, doctors be out because vaccines papa. They think it is not doing its job, and that the government should concentrate on hospitalizing people. Because the vaccine is effective. Do we know the vaccine is effective? How can we confirm today? Say vaccine the one papa. FDA is saying vaccine no effect a woman no country. So who is doing who? And that is why I keep saying these people leading these institutions, they become political surrogates. They can't do their job. The boss of Ghana Health Service. If you are a real medical practitioner, you are supposed to put a halt to all the nonsense and say, hey, health minister, I am a health practitioner, I am a senior doctor, leave that office. But they sit there and they condone their man because of part in our power, because they are being fed like chicken. So the ordinary Ghanaian will die. Not Ghana Health Service, that's supposed to be the last block to protect Ghanaians when it comes to medical issues. They are sitting there supporting criminals because the health minister is a first-class criminal. 1, he inflated the price. 2, he did not take parliamentary approval. 3, he said he wasn't mentally right. This man does not deserve to be the health minister of Ghana. He is an insane individual. We don't have to allow such people to lead us. So why is the minority quiet? Why are Ghanaians quiet? Why are individuals we expect to speak for things to change? And this is my second question to Otumfuo. Otumfuo said to why are you not speaking about this? Otumfuo, Mano Esisuminaso, Universal their wall. Do you know? Maybe Mano Esisuminaso, Mano Esisuminaso. Ye nim the vaccine betumaye. Ebetuma ye nyina ebe ma adwojo. Sebio ebe hia se ebe wan de hia e man de hia be dia konwa na ye mu se de vaccine be ya debi asembesi ye nya de hia ma ne metena konwa no. So it is important. You might not like me. I keep telling you, me busuafo ankasa me abrodini na omunya ne pemasem. I'm being honest with you. Me ankasa me busuafo nyina nyom no pemasem. So if you don't like me, I don't care. But the message is what is going to save you. Yes, Christo, on Muhammad, but the message they brought is what the people need to take. Muhammad, Jesus Christ, and whoever calls himself the messenger of God. Message, you might hate Muhammad, it is your problem. You might hate Jesus Christ, it is your problem. But you cannot hate the message. And the truth is what I have told you tonight. The truth is what I have served you. And we have to understand, we are at a point whereby we need regime change. The NDC is the only alternative. John Dramani Mahama is the only alternative. There's nothing like a third force in Ghana. Party Ben or Ghana, 1% apart from NDC and PP. Nobody. Let's not tickle ourselves. Let us not, out of embarrassment, try and shift blames and say a third force. You are disappointed, I get it. But you have no alternative. The only alternative is the NDC. I have told you on my platform, this is not a neutral platform. It's a platform to make sure a tyrant, a president, a government that does not think about the people, a criminal government is taken out of office. And the only alternative is the NDC. You might not like this statement, but you have no option. The NDC pulled over 6 million votes in Ghana. They are not animals, they are humans. They looked at the issues before they voted for the NDC. It is your job to fight, to make sure people who are sucking us dry, stealing from us, killing and maiming us, are taken out of office and prosecuted. That is the only way this country's democracy can be put together, and we can call each other a brother and sister and move this nation forward. If we miss this chance, the beginning of the end has started. My name is Kevin Ekobedu Taylor. This is With All Respect Celebration.